You know, for as long as humanity has been around, we've been looking for answers. When we're faced with uncertainty about, well, anything, health, our fortune, the future, we're always searching for a clear path forward. But how do we actually find one?
And that's a fascinating question, isn't it? I mean, how can something as simple as a string of beads or a handful of stones become a tool to unlock some kind of profound insight? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into.
Across so many cultures, people have come up with these really intricate systems using portable, everyday objects to find meaning. We're going to look at two brilliant examples, one from the mountains of Tibet and another from the Kikuyu people of Kenya.
So, on one hand, you've got the Tibetan mala. Think of it as a personal, spiritual tool. And on the other, you have the Kikuyu counters, which are part of a specialized kit that a diviner uses to solve problems for the entire community. One is for your own personal guidance, the other is for the well-being of the whole group. But they both rely on the same basic idea, interpreting patterns from simple objects.
The sheer practicality of the mala is really the key here. Most Tibetan Buddhist practitioners literally carry their rosary, or mala, with them all day long. This isn't some rare artifact that's locked away somewhere. It's a constant companion, a portable oracle just ready to be used whenever guidance is needed.
Now, the Kikuyu method is different. It's not really a personal tool. A respected figure in the community, the medicine man, is the one who gets consulted. He uses a special gourd that's filled with all sorts of counters, twigs, stones, and, cowrie shells, to find answers to problems that are affecting everyone.
Okay, so how does this stuff actually work? Because this is not just randomly shaking a bag and hoping for the best. These are highly structured procedures that have been passed down for generations. So let's break down the mechanics.
The Tibetan method is incredibly systematic. It starts with a formal invocation, asking for clarity. Then, after splitting the 108 beads, the practitioner counts them off in groups of 3. The whole thing hinges on the number of beads left over at the end, 1, 2, or 3. Each of those combinations has a very specific, cataloged meaning.
And get this, the answers are not vague at all. Just look at the level of detail here. This is from an actual Tibetan divination manual. A result of 3 beads on each side is overwhelmingly positive. It promises health, success, your requests will be granted. It just goes to show how complex this system is. Each outcome has this rich, specific interpretation.
All right, let's switch gears to the Kikuyu method. The big difference here, it's a communal event. The entire process is a group effort.
So when the community is facing a problem, they all gather. The medicine man doesn't act alone. He pours out his counters, and everyone who's there helps count them into piles of 10. The final number, combined with which specific objects show up, like a really significant cowrie shell, that's what forms the basis of the whole interpretation.
And here's a real-world example for you. In one reading, the counters actually revealed a past event in someone's village. In another, a simple question was asked, will the white man live to grow old? And the answer was yes, an interpretation that was confirmed just by the presence of a single cowrie shell. It's this direct link between the object and the answer.
Now, it's really easy to just dismiss these practices as simple superstition. But when you start to look closer, you find that they're actually complex systems, and they have their own deep internal logic.
I absolutely love this quote from scholar Dr. Sabuso Masondo. He cheekily compares divination to economics. He says both are systems that try to produce insights on pressing questions through non-rational ways of knowing. It just completely forces you to think differently about what we consider a valid system of analysis. So this is the crucial idea, internal symbolic logic. This is the cultural framework, right? It's the shared beliefs and symbols that let a diviner look at a few beads or stones and come up with a complex, meaningful answer. It's kind of like the software that's running the hardware of the objects.
So these systems are not just random guesswork. Far from it. They are structured, they're consistent, and you can learn them, a lot like a language. And within their own cultural context, they make perfect sense and provide a really reliable way of navigating the world.
But beyond all the theory, what does this actually look like on the ground? Well, these systems have had a profound, sometimes life or death impact on people's lives. These are real stories. This is an incredible story. It's an account of a Tibetan Lama who was fleeing an invasion. His party was totally lost, ready to turn back. But using Tre, which is a form of divination where you gaze into the sky or a mirror, he received a vision of a hidden path. So they pushed forward, found a road, and it led them to safety. This wasn't abstract theory.
This was about survival. And it's similar for the Kikuyu. The medicine man's role is absolutely vital. When misfortune strikes, like an illness, it's often seen as the work of a spirit. So the community gathers, the diviner consults his counters to figure out the spiritual cause, and then he prescribes the right ritual cure to restore balance and well-being. And really, that's the heart of it all. Whether it's a string of beads on your wrist or a collection of stones in a gourd, these are tools that transform the mundane into something meaningful. They're systems that provide guidance, protection, and a coherent way to explain a world that is often complex and unpredictable. So it kind of leaves us with a final question. If divination is a non-rational way of knowing, like economics, what other systems do we rely on in our own lives today? Whether it's intuition, gut feelings, or even market forecasts, maybe we all use our own set of counters to find our way forward. So what are yours?